I got an email the other day from someone asking for a career growth advice. This person was working for a big enterprise company for around 3 years. They are new to the career market and software engineering. And they mentioned that it was very hard for them to evolve in their career, to build and grow, because the company was very slow to adopting new technologies. So what they started doing is they started learning about new technologies, new software, frameworks out there outside of their work. And they were asking, eventually they hit a plateau, and they asked about how do they approach this gap when their company they are working on isn't evolving fast enough for these new technologies. And I expected these kind of questions because this is not the first time I get this. It just paints a picture of the current software engineering trends and climate, if you will. We're being forced to adopt that to evolve your career, to become a better software engineer, to become a better front-end engineer, to become a better back-end engineer, you have to learn new technologies. That's what their email said. I'm trying to learn new technologies, right? And I'm not be able to because my company is not adopting these new technology. I tried to force them. I tried to convince them to try to adopt this new technology and this and this. But that is the problem in the current software engineering climate. That is currently the norm. You go to social media and you're bombarded with a new framework, new language, new library, new this and that every single week. And it became now even exacerbated with AI. Every time there is a new thing. And you're somehow, and when you read the feed, everyone suddenly is an expert on this. That is the problem. How is it that something that was released last month, you're currently an expert in? But people believe this. People eat it up. It gets views, it gets likes. So that is the problem, that the idea of chasing new things and shiny things while abandoning the first principles. So the problem is, if you go back to where you are working on, your enterprise company, you will find gold buried there. Beautiful gold. But you have not been looking for them. You've been stuck in looking outside. What's the saying? The grass is always greener. If you look inwards, if you look into the company, do you truly understand every workflow that your company is using? Do you know the existing technologies? No matter how old it is. Think of it, the new technologies are almost always 100% derived from older ones with minor tweaks. Rarely we see innovations these days. Very, very, very rare that we see innovations. So if you go back to your existing company, even if you're working for a year, this is the advice I gave them. Try to understand how they are doing business, what is the existing software stack, without judgment. Even if they are using Fortran, even if you're using a very long language, try to understand, try to draw it on a whiteboard. What is the current architecture? Is there actual bottleneck here in this old, quote unquote, old technology? That's the question you should be asking, not just jumping into new technologies without understanding the actual problems. Because if you truly understand how the existing software stack works in your company, you'll be surprised that it might be even better than what this new technology offers. Because guess what? Those influencers won't tell you. When they promote a new marketing technology or a software or a tip or a tool, they will never, ever tell you the downsides of using it. They will always sell you the upside of using it. Because either they know or they don't want to tell you, highly unlikely, or they don't even know because they never actually deployed it. But that's the thing I wanted to kind of, especially new people in the entry level to the intermediate level, don't get distracted by what's out there. There's a new technology. You can evaluate it, but I like to always take something and try to break it down to its basic first principles. You will always find something very easier to understand when you remove the abstractions, when you remove the weird terminologies, when you remove the marketing fluff, and then that only comes in, and that's easy, by the way. You can immediately tell if something is a fluff or not, because you're gonna feel it inside. You're gonna feel something is wrong, right? When you listen to something and you wouldn't understand it, but you feel stupid for asking questions that you don't understand. That when you get that feeling, when you feel like stupid to ask questions, that is when something is wrong. That is it. And because there are no stupid questions. Any question is there, that means you don't understand something. And when you don't understand something, either the person didn't explain it well enough, or that other person might not even know the answer. So don't feel afraid to ask and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig until you reach the gold. So even these new technologies, they have gold, but there's just a lot of stuff buried in them. So go back, take a look with an open mind in your existing enterprise companies, and just say what is currently there, and just study it. Immerse yourself in it. Learn about it. Find the actual bottleneck, not to replace it, but to just highlight it. Find the power thing. What's the positive things about this? And then just draw it out there. By just doing that, people will naturally pay attention to you. You will get promoted. You will get assigned more tasks because now you know how things work. You're not one of those that's just seeking shiny things. You ask questions. And you'll find out who in your company actually understand the system and who doesn't. And they'll be, if the company, let's say, have 100 people, there'll be probably 2 who fully understand the system. Maybe 3, right? And the goal is to be one of those people. And then you will be surprised by how much you can learn by just diving into the fundamentals. Look at the TCP/IP stack. It's boring. Nobody talks about it because it's boring. Yet, everything is built on it, on Perfect. Everything. But it's a shameful. We don't talk about that. It's a shame, right? It's not, it's embarrassing. That's the word. It's like embarrassing. I don't talk about that stuff. I talk about new shiny things. But if you break every single protocol, you'll find out that it's built on the TCP/IP stack. And when you do that, when you understand how that works and you understand how the TCP/IP works, you understand every protocol that it comes on top of it. You can improve it. You can highlight the disadvantages, the cons of that. And that, then every architecture will comes into a place, and you'll find out that no matter what technologies that plugs in, dive into that. Draw the boxes, and then, okay, there's like a, whatever, ETL tool. So draw it as a box, then dive into it. How does it actually work? And don't be afraid to break it all the way to the atomic level. And then when you understand that, Then go back to the original question. What is your company's workflow? Walk through a user experience and then just walk through it, through until the end. What actually happens? When you do that, take a bug that is currently in your backlog, something that is slow. A report is slow to generate. Once you understand it, you go back and you try to walk that request to generate that slow report without, I promise you, without even looking at the source code, you will point out, hey, this is exactly what's going on. That might be the area where it is slow. So you will go there and you will find the problem. And now the problem might be able to be solved, tweak, rewriting the query, rewriting the plugin, rewriting the thing, or fixing an index or something. And then you just contributed to your company without changing the technology. By what? By understanding how things work. And this is how you grow your career. I applied this for 10 years in my current company. And my current company does not implement new technologies immediately. It takes them years to do that. But there are a lot of gold. And now I am, by just doing that, I got responsible, not responsible per se, but I know almost 70% of the system. Naturally, because I just decided to dig deep into what interests me and then breaking down the assumption. And then naturally, I can have conversations with senior people who built this software for 30 years. I can have conversation with them because I understand the system. If you reach that level, you know that you're getting up there. And you don't be afraid to ask questions and interrogate and learn in a nice way, of course. And then just build it up. So if you're working with a company for very few years, don't get discouraged that that's not implemented. They are not implementing the latest Rust thing, or this is the MCP thing, or this new this and that, or Bond. They should really move to Bond instead of Node.js. Node.js is old, or this and that. Oh, this language is slightly faster than this language, or this thing is faster than that. Don't get discouraged by that. Don't get distracted by that. Go back to the basics. Understand the current system fully. Don't leave any gaps. Then maybe you can propose the new technology, but then you're grounded. Your proposal will be completely grounded to these first principles. You're replacing it because there is a reason. Wish you all the best. If you're interested to learn more, check out my training courses in the description below. See you next time.